Okay, recently you all have been doing the length of line segment where you all given 2 points, find the length. So for example, this question, we want to find the length of the line segment connecting A and B. The A coordinates 3, 9, B coordinates -5, A. Okay? In coordinates, the front is the x coordinate. How left and right the point is. The second number is the y coordinate. How high, how low the point is. Okay? So you all will use we will use the formula. AB is square root of, because this is Pythagoras theorem. Exactly. So you know that it's going to be the square root of difference in x squared plus difference in y squared, because your x and y, the difference will give you the two shorter sides of the right angle triangle. So difference in x, I can take difference in x. So it came from, if you remember it by your formula, it will be x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. So when we are putting in the numbers, the number one thing to take note of is this minus belongs to this formula. So before I even put in any number, this minus is minus already. Meaning when I put in the coordinates, the x coordinates, 3 belongs to the first point, so I put 3. This minus is this formula one, so I must have the minus. Then this minus belongs to this 5. So this minus 5 together they form the x coordinate. Meaning when I minus this x coordinate, I must minus this whole negative y. So when we are doing our substitution, we will put the whole negative y inside a bracket, then replace this x2. Okay, this minus belongs to the formula, this minus belongs to this coordinate, and I'm just putting in x2. x2 itself is minus 5 already. Okay, can. Then y1 minus y2, I remember it by difference in the x and difference in y. Okay, then y1 minus y2, I will take 9 minus 8 squared. Okay, then minus negative, that is where it may become different if you never put your, if you're not careful with your negative sign. So 3 become 3 plus 5. Okay, then because there is this part, when there are some unknown inside, then we have to square a bracket. Then maybe some of you will face some difficulty. Then in the algebra worksheet that I gave you all also, I see some of you facing difficulty when we are expanding and simplifying this part. So that's why today I want to go through how to, or why do we expand this one, it becomes something, or how did it become the individual terms. Okay? So this one take note, and today we will go through a bit on how to expand the bracket. Okay, for the expansion of this bracket, inside a bracket square, number one thing to take note of, or the very basic, is this bracket is being squared. I don't care what is inside. As long as there is a bracket being squared, actually what it means is this bracket itself is multiplied by itself. Anything square means multiplied by itself. Okay, so you all learn in Sec 2 that there is some identity. So you don't need to go through this step. And then the identity, you all learn it as A plus B being squared. It will become A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. Okay? when you do enough, practice enough, you will come up to this quite naturally. And then for the remembering part, I don't remember by alphabet. I remember by the front and the back. Inside the bracket got two terms. One is in front, one is at the back. Then after the expansion, the front is being squared, the back is being squared, and the front multiply the back multiply another 2. That is how I remember the identity. But even if you don't remember the identity, we can always go through the multiplication itself. So A plus B, the bracket is being squared, means the bracket is multiplied by itself. Then we go through the long division, long multiplication. And one thing to take note of, bracket is being squared just means bracket multiplied by itself. So what if this is plus? This must be plus, this must be plus. The sign won't change one. If there's no reason for it to change. Bracket times bracket just means itself times itself. So the sign don't change one. Some of you change it during in the worksheet. I think it's because confused with another identity. So always go back to knowing the basic. Bracket being squared, bracket multiplied by itself. Plus, plus, plus. Okay? Then go through the long multiplication or the rainbow method. Front times front, front times back, back times front, already it's a plum. Back times front, B times A is the same as A times B. Just like 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2. When it is just multiplication, which one comes in front, back, doesn't matter. So B times A, we can also write it as A times B. AB means A times B. AB means A times B. BA means B times A. Or you can also write it as A times B. Okay? Then back times back. Then it will always end up, because these numbers are the same, so it will always end up you have 2 times of the A times B in the middle. Okay? So if you remember the identity, this is the identity. I remember by front square, back square, and the middle is 2 times front and back. Okay? Then there is another variation, that is when the middle is minus. So when the middle is minus, it doesn't change the idea. The bracket is being squared. So what is inside the bracket times is the same, just that the bracket multiplied by itself. Then when we do our long multiplication, front times front, front square. Front times back, positive, negative, so minus A times B. Then back times front, negative B times positive A, so also negative B times A or A times B. Then back times back, negative B times negative B. Negative times negative become positive B squared. That is why end up we also have front square, we have back square, and the middle become minus 2 times of front times back. Okay, so this is your other identity. These two are the identities. But again, nobody force say you die must remember by identity. If you remember, that is very good. If you don't remember, just go through this multiplication. Okay, just go through this multiplication and put it correctly. Plus, plus, and do your multiplication carefully. Then can already. Okay, so a bit of practice with some numbers. it can be with one unknown, meaning it can be x plus 3 is being squared. Okay? When x plus 3 is being squared, what it means is x plus 3, the bracket is multiplied by x plus 3. Still, there is a front, there is a back. So if I go through the long way, front times front, front times back, back times front, back times back. Simplify. Okay? Then it can be one unknown, one number, but let's say my number is in front, my unknown is at the back. This is being squared. Still same, there is a front, there is a back. So bracket multiplied by itself, front times front, front times back, back times front, back times back. 4 times 3x is 4 times 3, then times x, so 12x. 3x times 4 is also 12x. Back times back, 3 times 3, 9. X times x, x squared. Simplify. Number only got 4 terms now. 1, 2, 3, 4. First term is 16. Second term both contain x, so we can group them together. 12x plus 12x, 24x. Then the last term is the only term with x squared, so it is x. Okay, so it is always 2 terms then being squared. Then it can be minus also, meaning I can have 2x minus 1 is being squared. It just means 2x minus 1 multiplied by 2x minus 1. Then front times front, 2 times 2, 4, x times x, x squared. Front times back, back times front, back times back. Negative 1 times negative 1 become positive. 1 times 1, 1. Okay? Then it also can be number minus unknown. Square. What it means is still bracket multiplied by itself. Then we will have front times front, front times back, 2 times negative 3x, so minus 6x. Front times back, back times front. Negative 3x times 2, also minus 6x. Back times back, negative times negative, positive. 3 times 3, 9. X times x. 4 terms, 2 terms got x, so combine like that. Okay, then one last example. Let our front be a negative number, then minus x. Okay, if I go by remembering of identity, I can treat this as front minus back, whole thing being square. Then I can use my identity also. Front square, back square, and the middle, front times back times 2. Or if I don't use identity, I can also again front times back. Bracket times bracket. Then front times front, negative 5 times negative 5, negative times negative, positive 5 times 5, 25. Front times back, negative 5 times negative x, negative become plus. Back times front, negative times negative become plus. Then the back, negative x times negative x, so positive x. Okay, so all this expansion, usually exam they don't come out as an individual question already, but like you do the line segment, the length, you already need these techniques. So must master all these techniques. Okay? Then you all can try to do the worksheet already. Can? Okay, this one can do more to say why become all plus also, but never mind. Those who got more time, you go and think about it yourself. Otherwise, just practice. Practice, then you will remember, then practice it. Some of the things may look hard to remember, but you practice enough, then it will become quite natural.